In this video, we're looking at The Adventures of Red Sonja Omnibus from Dynamite Entertainment. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and today I'm giving you an overview of The Adventures of Red Sonja Omnibus. This coming courtesy of Dynamite Entertainment. So I got to give them a huge thanks for sending this review copy over to us so we can show it to you. Now, this book contains all of Red Sonja's classic earliest appearances. We've got Red Sonja stories from Marvel Feature 1 through 7, Red Sonja 1 through 15, even some appearances from the Savage Sword of Conan. So as you can see, a lot of goodness. We're going to take a look at the book, the build, the extras, all of it. Before I do though, like I said, huge thanks to Dynamite for sending this over for us to review. And if you decide you'd like to buy a copy, you should do so from our channel sponsor, Organic Price Books. Now, they're the best place to go for collected editions online. You can get books up to 50% off, as well as you get great packaging, great shipping, great customer service. So grab that book from Organic Price Books. You can use my discount code BJKicks at checkout to save $2. Or if you're buying 3 books or more, use code BJKicks, ship it together. They'll send all those books to you in one beautiful bomb-proof package. And you'll save 5% on the entire order. So once again, shout out to Organic Price Books. Let's look inside this book though. All right, so here we are taking a look at The Adventures of Red Sonja Omnibus. This comes to you courtesy of Dynamite Entertainment, Dynamite Comics. This collected some of Red Sonja's earliest appearances. Really cool stuff. Some of the creators associated with it: Roy Thomas, Bruce Jones, Frank Thorne, John Buscema. I don't know. But Big John. Very cool. Celebrating Red Sonja's 50th anniversary as she made her debut in comics in 1973. So Dynamite put out this collection for the first time, collecting all this stuff together in a hardcover. This is the defining saga of the She-Devil with a sword. So this is going to collect Marvel Feature 1 through 7, Red Sonja 1 through 15, and all of Red Sonja's solo appearances from the Savage Sword of Conan series. So it's Roy Thomas who's writing it, Frank Thorne, Bruce Jones, John Buscema, and Howard Chaykin among the artists. 648 pages, and cover price on this is $99.99. It's got a Teen Plus rating, a lot of violence, yeah, very cool. So let's take a look at that spine. Adventures of Red Sonja, Thomas, Jones, Thorne, Buscema. Nice stuff. Very cool. I know that's out of focus, but there we go. As you can see, it does come with a ribbon, and let's go ahead and get started with this overview. So, bookend pages, you can see like a nice little newsprint type thing, sort of vintage vibes, and we're looking at a bunch of old Red Sonja covers. And here we go. Pin-up art by Frank Thorne, the Nemedian Chronicles, and there's Red Sonja. Now, Red Sonja is a character that I do not really know a ton about. Of course, she's based on the Red Sonja that appears in some of the original Conan prose books by that guy, Robert E. Howard. There we go. So the Red Sonja in comics is based on Red Sonja in Conan prose novels, serials. I don't know. And as Conan got his start in comics, they brought her into the comics as well. So Roy Thomas, Bruce Jones, Claire Noto, Peter Gillis, tons of people with writing credits in this book. Lots of artists as well, but mainly Frank Thorne. We got some art here by Neil Adams, John Buscema, Dick Giordano, Bruce Jones, Al Milgrom. Nice. Very cool. Colors by Frank Thorne, Salvatore Ayala, and all the et ceteras. Huge thanks, by the way, to Dynamite and Vincent Faust, their marketing coordinator, for hooking up this copy for us to review. So now we've got the credits out of the way. You can see our table of contents, and I do like how well this is laid out. So we've got 4 volumes. We've got Red Sonja, we're basically showing her earliest appearances in Marvel feature stuff. Throne of Blood, which is the first 7 issues of Red Sonja from 1977. Vengeance of the Golden Circle. There's another 7 or 8 issues from 77 to 78. And then we've got She-Devil with a Sword. We've got some Cole the Barbarian stories. Interesting. As well as Savage Sword of Conan stories here. So all this is her appearances outside of the Red Sonja title. And then we've got covers, extras, and so on. So we've got a foreword here by Roy Thomas. And then we get started with the book. And so it's separated into volumes because they really do kind of want you to read it all together and understand like eras of Red Sonja as opposed to specific stories. So what you'll notice is that this does not show the covers in the order that they were published. So we jump straight into stories. So there we go. I should note this does not collect the first appearance of Red Sonja. Her first appearance was in a Conan the Barbarian book, and Dynamite does not have the rights to Conan, so they couldn't reprint those Conan stories, but they could reprint the Savage Sword issues that don't feature Conan. So just a quick point of clarification. So Red Sonja is a character that I've not really gotten much into. A lot of her more modern depictions really play up the cheesecake, if you will. But this classic material is stuff that I've just not been familiar with. It's from before my time on the earth, but also before my time in comics. But from what I understand about her, she's like a very like fierce warrior of a woman. And one of the things that gets played up a lot is, of course, her sex appeal. And a lot of her adversaries, she gets preyed on by them because of her sex appeal. And there's nothing that she hates more than a man feeling entitled to treat a woman however he wants to treat her. So she's a sort of feminist icon, if you will, a more brutal Wonder Woman, if you will. But she's not just battling like, you know, evil men, the scum of the earth or whatever, but there's a lot of like mythology here. There's a lot of fantasy here. So there's monsters, there's supernatural elements, spiritual elements and stuff that she fights against. She's going on like these ancient quests, like, you know, all the same stuff you would expect from a cool Conan book. But she's clearly very, very skilled in combat and very, very confident in her abilities. And like I said, there's nothing that gets her more riled up than people trying to take advantage of those who would otherwise be defenseless. So very awesome stuff. Obviously she's called the She-Devil, and I guess that's just because she's so fierce and vicious. Well, see, there you go. There's Conan. We get some appearances from Conan. Just not the actual mainline Conan title. It's pretty cool. One thing I do appreciate is just seeing the art. There are some instances when I'm looking at this where I'm like, this looks like it's been recolored. Like some of this stuff looks kind of airbrushed, but they're just seeing the older line work and brushwork is very cool, even with the updated colors. But like I said, a lot of mythology here. Got unicorns, the demon of the maze. But one thing that kind of had me like, okay, cool, I don't mind checking this out is it's Marvel. It's like older classic Marvel. And, you know, there's only so much they can play up the sort of base level, you know, especially like innuendo and stuff like that. I mean, it's definitely there, but it's nowhere near where it could be. Like there's times where you might see, well, clearly like there's women in bathing suits fighting each other. There was a point in this book where some dude like is trying to look for something while Red Sonja is taking a bath. And so she's like in a super vulnerable state. all stuff that like, you know, in modern comics is not really like, it's kind of frowned upon. We're just in a different era. But I think it's cool to be able to see all this stuff in its original context. And, you know, with a nice focus on story. There's no way you can, you know, talk about this book without kind of addressing the elephant in the room and just, you know, how women were depicted in comics then. But it also does the story a disservice to sort of only focus on that. Like, this art is incredible. The world building is incredible. Like, there's a lot going for this title. So, very cool stuff. And I think it's awesome because Dynamite has the license to Red Sonja, and specifically because Dynamite has leaned into some of the more modern stuff, like, you know, you can play up things on covers and stuff like that in today's landscape. I think it's cool that they're like doing like a sort of story focused Red Sonja collection, just celebrating the character, her history, her evolution throughout the early years. And I'm sure there are other collections to come. I know we got the Gail Simone Red Sonja Omnibus was reprinted last year, and that's a super revered run. If I remember correctly, Gail Simone's coming back to Red Sonja, or maybe she is back on the Red Sonja title at Dynamite. Maybe it was a one-shot. I don't know. I just remember seeing Red Sonja in the news and Gail Simone's name being associated with it. I think she got like some kind of limited series. But yeah, I really do like the artwork in this title. Very cool stuff. There's just recently been a relaunch of the Conan title. And I've read a couple issues of that. I think issue 3 is out now. I read issues 1 and 2. Pretty cool stuff. This seems very much in line with that, with sort of classic depictions, if you will. But all in all, a very cool collection and a very well made collection, I have to add. And so I will skip around. Let's see if we can find if there are any extras included in this package here. Nice blood and guts there. All right, so we got another intro by Roy Thomas, and here's where we got all the covers. So I was telling you, like, they weren't collecting the covers in front of each issue. The covers are all collected here in the back as a sort of art gallery for you to look through. So I don't know. I think I probably would have preferred for these to be put throughout the book, but it's not a big deal to me. I think it's cool to look at them just as art pieces as well. I think it's fine to just focus on the story first. We've got an afterword by Roy Thomas, but we've also got a bunch of pinups as well. So Howard Chaykin, Dick Giordano, Frank Thorne, John Buscema. That's a pretty cool image. So yeah. Nice pinups. Afterward, camera shut off, but we got some nice pinups. We've got an afterword here by Roy Thomas. And a final pinup by Howard Chaykin. So a decent amount of extras in here. And that's the book. So if you are interested in grabbing The Adventures of Red Sonja Omnibus, you can grab it from our channel sponsor, Organic Price Books. Once again, a huge thanks to Dynamite Entertainment for sending this over for us to review. And overall, let's look at the binding real quick. It's a well-made collection. It's not a ton of pages, so like the eye is not going to be super big, but I really love that they included that ribbon, because this is a book that's meant to be read, not just sit on the shelf. Very nice. Now, if you were wondering about the size, I should have done this at the beginning, but this book is the size. It's a standard hardcover size book. It's not oversized. Standard hardcover, so it's the same trim size as a regular single issue comic book. But don't let that deter you. I think the reproduction is really nice. The print quality is really nice. It's a very nice paper stock. It's not that see-through stuff that we've been getting. I mean, you can kind of see through certain pages just because I got this huge light shining on it. But all in all, very well built, very well made. And hey, that's the book. I'll see you guys in another overview real soon. Till then, stay awesome and read something dope today. Peace.